Okay, so welcome to the class. Can you all see my screen? All right. Although I didn't have this tonight presentation on a slide, so I would have shared it. So I'll just perhaps there's no need to share my screen. So I'll continue with, if you check the course outline I sent to you, we've done one of the sections, part of the first section, which is launching your first website on mobile phone. However, that is a very important step to take, especially in programming. If you are introduced to a new programming language, so the first thing you will be taught is the hello world, how to print out your hello world. And just so we will regard the first step that we did as our hello world, even though we don't know how it works. We just follow through the process. So that is indeed our hello world section, hello world step into designing a website with WordPress. So I'm going to continue with the introduction of what is WordPress, as you have it in your course outline. So the introduction of what is WordPress. Can you all hear me? All right. So WordPress is the most common and secured CMS platform on the internet as at the time of this presentation today. So by statistics, it powers over 40% of all websites on the internet. So I mentioned CMS. What do we call CMS? CMS is content management system. So shortly we will talk about CMS. All right, so let's continue with WordPress. So WordPress is built with PHP, HTML, and CSS. All right. So that's those are the core programming language that made up WordPress is PHP, which is a server-side language. All right. So what is meant by server-side language is that when you write a PHP code, the PHP code only transacts with the server. It only communicates with the server. It does not communicate with the user. All right. So it communicates with the server and reconcile requests from the server to the user. So the only visible code that you will see is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript that you can see. So let me check. Can you still see my screen? All right. So if we look at the backend code of this website, by pressing Ctrl U, all right, So let me wrap the line. I know it's kind of looking messy, but let me increase the zoom size. So as you can see here, everything you are seeing here contains scripts, even though it's not looking user friendly, it's not looking human readable, but I can see href here. If you understand HTML very well, so this is href, which is HTML. This is a image source for the navigation part of the website. So this is pointing to the image. So from here, I think we have HTML from here downward. I can see this is, you can see this is paragraph, opening of a paragraph, and this is the end of the paragraph, right? So what I'm trying to drive at is, if this website is a WordPress website, you will never see the PHP code from this end. The way I view this code now, you will never see the PHP code because it's a server-side language. The only code that you will see here is the script. If they include the script in the document here, in the coding here, and the CSS, you see the CSS and you see HTML, but you never see the PHP code. All right, so that's what I'm driving at here. Now, if let me admit some people. Okay, so that's what we mean by WordPress, PHP being a server-side language. All right, so it's the PHP only interacts with the server, like I said, and you cannot see it if you view the source code. If you view the source code from your browser, except you are the one that developed the website and you have the source code with you, so you can view it from your web host, from your host company. You can view it from the back end there, but right here, as a normal user, you cannot see the PHP code. All right, so let's move on from there. Please, if you know there is noise around you, you can kindly mute your mic so that we won't distract the class. All right, so having said that, then I mentioned CMS the other time. So what is CMS? We said WordPress is the most common and secured CMS platform on the internet. All right, so what is CMS? CMS simply means content management system. Hope you are jotting this down. CMS simply means content management system. So it is a software that allows a website owner to manage content of their website easily. It mostly comes with WYSIWYG. That is, what you see is what you get. WYSIWYG spelled as WYSIWYG, and it is pronounced as WEEEZEEWEEG. WYSIWYG. So what it means, what you see is what you get. What that is trying to say is that whatever you see, just like you imported the demo site yesterday, so is what you saw from the Sydney theme that you actually got when you imported the theme. All right, so that's WYSIWYG, and usually comes with drag and drop. Like if you want a button, you see the button, you drag it to the to your Canva. It will definitely show there that you saw a button you want and you drag it to where you want it, and that's where it will be. It will not change. So that's WYSIWYG feature of CMS. So it enables easy management of websites. You don't need to know code to update plugins, to update themes, to add some little features. Even if you are not the one that designed the website, you can still manage the website easily. All right. So that's what WYSIWYG means. All right. So having touched that, I would like us to just play with some HTML code and see what happens. Simple HTML code, all right? So what we are going to do, I've written just a simple few lines of HTML code here that you can run with your notepad. All right, so can you see the notepad here? Or it's only my browser you can see? Can you see the notepad? Only my face. Oh, all right. So let me stop presenting and share my entire screen. So I'm sharing my entire screen now, so you can see what I'm about to do. All right, so I have a simple, you can see the Microsoft Word, right? So I have a simple HTML code there that I've written. So I just want us to run it and see what happens. So I'm going to use simple notepad. You can also use any text editor on your phone. If you have notepad on your phone, you can use it. So I've copied and pasted this code into a notepad. So the first line is HTML, all right? The HTML, the opening tag of HTML, and the last line is the close tag of HTML. So there are two types of tag in HTML. So we have the one that has the opening and close tag, and we have the one that does not have the close tag. That's self-closing tag. So the HTML tag has opening and close. So the first line has HTML opening tag. The last line will close it. So every other thing we want to write will be within this HTML tag. So the second line is the doc type, where you indicate the type of document, whether it's HTML. So it's usually HTML, right? So then the next line is the head. It also has its own closing tag. So the head here, and this is the closing tag of the head. I should have used VS Code for this thing. So I just want us to see how simple you can compute it without using any elaborate software. Right. So this is the head, the opening tag and the closing tag here. So within the egg, we have the title. All right. So this title is what you see here. All right. This is it. This is the title of this page. You can see what you have on the tab here: UX versus UI design. Then what's the difference? All right. So that's the title. That's what they have in the title section in their header. So that's why you're having. So that's what we show here. So if I write the same thing here and run this code, that is what we show. So note, this is what we are going to check on the title bar of this code that we're about to run. All right. So now the body contains paragraph, the links, sections, header and footer. So that's what goes into the body. So I just wrote a simple paragraph here. So the paragraph also has a opening tag, an opening tag rather, and a closing tag. All right. So that's what is comprised in this code. So I'm going to just save it now. So save it as first. Let me save it as no code HTML. Right. Then I will choose all files. Then the extension I will now change the extension to .html. All right. So let me save it where I can easily pull it. Let me save it on my desktop. Okay. So let me save it on my desktop. So I have saved this code now. So what is left is to run it. All right. So let me run the code. So many things open down here. So let me just run the code. Notepad is usually hard to find here. I save it in my desktop. Or is it this one? Okay, let me use quick access. I should have it here. So I have it here. The quick access is showing that I have the code. So you can see the icon is showing my browser logo. Right. So once I double click it, so you can see what I have. So you can see what I have here. This is just a practice, and that was what we wrote in our paragraph. That's the only paragraph that we have. So let's view the backend, the source code of this website by pressing Ctrl U. So by pressing Ctrl, you can see what we have here, exactly what I copied and pasted. That's what we have, right? Exactly what I copied and pasted. So if I have numerous paragraph here, it's only the paragraph that we show. Now if you check the tab here, the title, you can see that this is what we have in the title. This appears at the tab of the browser, and that's what we are seeing here. This appears at the tab of the browser. Do you understand? So that about into introduction to HTML. So let's continue. Okay, so let me close this tab. Here's my Google tab. Okay, so let's continue. So the shortcode we just type now is something you can run on your phone. All right, just type in all this code, save it as HTML, then run it with your browser, or just double click it to definitely show up as a web page. All right. So that is that about that. So if you want to learn more about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, because those are the things that are required for you to be able to code a website from scratch. And coding a website from scratch is not a kid's play that you you have to do a lot of work sitting in front of laptop from morning till night, coding thousands of lines, just to get a page correctly, just to get design and all that correctly. So however, it is good to know how to code, right? So but for the start, you want to learn WordPress to design website for people that they can't wait for long, and maybe they have low budget and all that. So WordPress is easy to turn to for that. All right. So with that, we are moving to the process of web development. So this website that you saw here, this website that you are seeing, or every website that you are seeing online, or let me say every website. Most professional websites that you see online involves two processes, all right? So one of the process is the role of UI UX designer, all right? The role of a UI UX designer. And then we have the role of the programmers. So what is the role of a UI UX designer? So their role is to do what? To design a graphic. Okay, let me start with definition first. I saw one. So let me start with definition. So a UI UX designer only works with digital product and interface. UI means user interface. So a UI designer works with only digital products, and he or she is responsible for the look of that digital product. So digital products can be a website, a what's it called? A banner, a um, mobile application interface. So mostly digital products like that. So that's the work of a UI designer. But UX designer, UX means user experience. U for user, X from experience. So user experience. So user experience, UX designer works with both physical products and digital products. All right, both digital products and physical products. That's what they work with. So they are responsible for full experience of a user first contact to the last. Like from the first contact that a user encounter a product, whether it is physical or digital. So they are responsible for their experience, what they make the user feel from when the user encounter that product to the last stage, maybe when the user leaves the product or um, decide to make a decision and all that. So that's what the UX designer works with, all right? So they also create structural design solution for pain points that users encounter anywhere along their journey with the product. So what this is talking about is if you design a product to help someone relieve pain, all right, or you design a product to make someone to solve a particular problem. So what will make that person to buy that product is when you show that person their pain point from that product that they see. When you show them that this is what you are going through and this is what will solve your problem, then they'll be ready to buy that product. All right. So this now results in product that delights user with their effectiveness. All right. So that is the work of a user experience designer. But UI and UX, they are inseparable. All right. So even though UI only works on digital products, UX work on both physical and digital products. However, if you see any course online, you will always see UX and UI together as UX UI design course. So you can't see only UI course and UX course separately. So they both work together. All right. So the nearest analogy to this UI UX concept is our full body, our body itself. All right. So our body, the physical parts that we are seeing, the face, the arm, the skin color, can be likened to UI UX. The UI, the user interface, that is what you see. All right. What you see, that's the UI part of us. So but the user experience is what is inside the body. All right. The organ, the all the organs in our body, the bone and everything. So that is the user experience. All right. That is user experience part of us. So this is what products are usually, especially exercise products that deals with exercise. What they want the user to feel is what they design into the product. Right. So I think, are we clear with that explanation of UI UX? Hello. Hello. Okay. Are we sleeping already? Hello. Sorry, I lost connection here. Okay, so where did we stop? We stopped UI UX, right? Okay. I've explained a lot about UI UX. I don't know where the connection got lost. Our body, right? Our body. Okay. You got the explanation up to the analysis of human body and UI UX, right? Okay, okay, okay. All right, that means we didn't miss much. Sorry about the disconnection. All right, so okay, so I think we are done with UI UX explanation. So what is the role of UI UX designer in web development? All right. So that was what led me to explaining UI UX and the analogy with our body. All right. So the UI UX designer will be the one if it's a big project, maybe a company like Google or Microsoft, big companies like that. It does not need to be a big company like that, but a company that is um, that wants their user to they want to retain their user. All right, they want to have long-term relationship with their user, like all these digital um, loan people that they start giving loan up and down, all these loan shark companies. All right, so all of them, they want to retain people to keep collecting loan from them. All right, and also banks, they want to retain their people, their customers, they want to gain new customers. So they will award that project to a web development company. All right, so inside that web development company, they will have a UI UX designer. All right, they will have programmer. So when the client explains what they want as a product, as the end product, maybe in terms of website or an application, so when the customer explain like that, then the UI UX will now use their own expertise to build to design something, rather to build it, to design something that will fit what the client wants. All right, and also um, use a very unique design, so that it won't be like copy and paste that you a company copies another company's design. So it won't be like that. So they will look for unique designs, unique features that they can add to the website. I mean to the project. So when they finish designing the website, I mean the project, in form of graphics, in form of animation and all that. So because the UI UX will follow through, I said UI UX, they determine what the user experience will look like right from the start of encountering the product. So once the user encounters that product, till the end, maybe till they finish transaction on that product, or till they finish using that particular digital product, right? So the UI UX are responsible for what the customer will experience. So right from all the workflow process, all the maybe registration, what will happen after registration, what will show up, the security part of the website, how they want to secure the website. So after the user registers, what they want to show, where they want the user to be redirected to, the landing page, where they want the what they want to show up on the home page. So everything like that will be planned. All right. So that's what the UI UX designer will incorporate in their design. So after they finish their product, their design, they will present it to the programmer. All right. So the programmer will now start working on what the UI UX designer has done. So they will make sure that every detail in the design, they make sure that they represent it with code. So that's the role of UI UX designer and role of programmer in web development, right? So oftentimes this kind of process, oftentimes it causes clash between programmers and UI UX. This design that you bring is achievable, but it's difficult. The programmer will not want to do what the UI UX has designed, or just do it in a way that it will feel like, okay, I've done it, but it's not as perfect as what you designed. So it usually kind of bring back and forth sometimes if the design is too elaborate. And so that's just the relationship between UI UX and the programmer. So how does a website work actually? How does a website work? I ought to present graphics on all these things I'm saying, but I didn't have time to actually do that. So how does a website work? Let me just present this part of my screen so that you can follow through. It's actually past 10. Oh, and I planned just okay. So you can see how does a website work. How does a website work? So there are three major elements that we will there are three major elements that we will consider here in how a website works. So number one, we'll consider the host space, that is the hosting company. Then we'll consider the domain name. and then we consider the web files. All right, so the host space, you will get host space from host company. So we have two types of hosting company. We have the super hosting company and the reseller hosting company. So the super hosting companies are the ones that have a lot of supercomputers. They have a lot of servers with them. All right. So reseller hosting companies will go to the super hosting company that want to resell your hosting plan. So the super hosting company will now give them a reseller account. So most, let me just say, all the hosting company in Nigeria, they are reseller hosting company. Number one, the reason why is that we don't have electricity. We don't have constant electricity to power servers 24/7. So that's what the super hosting companies have. All right. So they have stable electricity over there that can power their server 24/7, and they only, maybe when there is little power outage, they can use their reserve. They can use their other alternative power source, right? But unlike the reseller hosting company, we don't have constant electricity here. So there's nothing to power our servers. So most of the hosting company in Nigeria, they are reseller hosting company, and you can also build your own reseller hosting company. All you need is a website and money to advertise it, that hey, I can host your website with so for so amount. So it's not that hard. So all you need to do is go to the super host company, you go to their website, you see reseller, become a reseller. So once you click the link, you register, you pay you pay their amount, their reseller amount. They will give you the account. Then you build your own website and start reselling their host service. It's that simple. So you buy host space, all right? We talk about that. So the free host space that are used on 00 web host. So that is one of the host space you can use. So for a website to exist, we need to host it somewhere. Just like for a house to exist, we need to build it on a land. So that host space is a land, all right? So now your domain name, you need a domain name, that is a unique name, just like a house address. You can't have number 22, you can't have two houses bearing number 22 on the same street, all right? So that domain name is a unique address to your website. So that will point everybody to that host space, all right? So that will point everybody to that host space. So on your host space, you now need to host your web files, all right? So just like what you did on 00 web host, your web files are your the WordPress you installed, the themes you installed, the plugins you installed. Those are your web files. And 00 web host your web files, all right? So the link you sent to me, that is your domain name. So once I click that link, it will take me to whatever you built on that website, all right? So that is exactly what a website needs to work, all right? So once you press the link, you click on the link on your phone, that means you are sending a request to the server. All right, so once you send that request to the server, your DNS, your domain name server resolver, which is from your network that you are using, maybe you are using MTN or Glo or Etisalat, whatever network you are using. So you are routing through them. So once you click that link, all right, so it will route through them. Then from them, it will now go to wherever you want it to go to fetch the file. So once the server can respond, then that's when you see the web page you requested for. That's when you see it on your browser. All right, so that is that about how a website works. So launch your first website on mobile phone. We've done that. All right, so the only thing we did not do is checking our website performance with free tools. We didn't do that. So let me just review one of the two that we can use here. But before that, let's talk about what are the features that make a great website. All right, so I've listed 6 features here. I've listed 6 features, and I will just talk about them briefly and then we'll call it a wrap. So number 1 is clean design. So clean design in terms of quality images, pictures, and icons. You don't want to use poor icons, images that have poor quality. So you use clean quality images. Then clearly defined sections. Sections in terms of either the body and the, let me see if I can get the home page of this website so that I will show us what we are. Okay, now so you can see that this is the header. Okay, sorry, let me share the entire screen so that you can see what I'm seeing here. So I'm sharing the entire screen now. So you can see this website, right? You can see this website. I've shared my screen. Okay, sorry. Okay, so you should see it now. You should see my screen now, right? Okay, so the number 2 part, I said clearly defined section, right? So you can see the header part. Sorry. Okay, so you can see the header part. This is the header part. This big banner that you are seeing is the header part. Look at the space in between. All right, then look at this section. All right, so if you now go down, that is the header part. If you go down, you see the body. All right, the body, everything here, the body. Then this is somehow the, okay, then the footer part. You can see that, you can see the difference between the header and the body and the footer. All right, so they are clearly defined. So that's what we are talking about. So enough space in between elements and section. So just like I showed here, so you can see this, even this section, there is enough space for the text, right? Between this and this, there is enough space, all right? So here you can see that there are spaces in between. There are space in between this and this. So it's not close together, it's not jam, everything is not jam packed together. So you can see that there is enough space. This is another section here. There is enough space. You can see the same design, the same they maintain the same form of design here, the same amount of space. All right, so that's what that is talking about. Enough space between element and section. Then accessibility and easy navigation. So you can see that, so everything that they have here, up here, definitely they will have some of the links within this page. You can see UI UX, UX design, UI design, web development. So if we go through this page, we will definitely see something like that, because what they want is they want you to click that link, they want you to see whatever. So you can see job guarantee, UI UX, UI design, data analytics. So almost everything that is here on this link is also here. All right, so if you can't go through this link, you should be able to go through one of the elements in this page. All right, so everything here, how it works, meet our members, some of these things will be present on the page here. All right, so there's no way they can just name it something else, but it will still take you to the same page, so that is what we mean by easy navigation, accessibility and easy navigation, so also great content. So what we mean by great content is related content to pages and brand, and also enough volume. You can see how long this page is. You can see how long. So what we mean by related content is that you don't want to go to the about section and be seeing contact form inside. All right, so you don't want to go to the about section and see contact us map inside there. You don't want to go to the course here and be seeing something else that is not related. So that's about related content on the pages. Also, what do I have? Enough content. You can see how long this page is, because you have to be able to explain enough. Nobody actually has time to go through all the content on this website. So you can see that most of the content is with images. All right, it's not everything that is word. Everything is not word, but it's because of the spaces in between the elements that also made it very long like this. So naturally you will not go through every content on this website. You just scan through. So by scanning through, if you skip these ones here, but when you are scanning through, you will definitely read something that maybe interests you and you want to click again. So despite the fact that you didn't click from here, so you definitely click around the content on the main page. All right, so that is that. Also, uniform color, that is very important. So under that color, we have primary color, secondary color, and tertiary color. So what is meant by that is you can see that the major color on this website, the major color is this blue color and white, right? If you notice very well, that's one of the things that makes a great website. The color, you don't want to have color riot on your website. So even this section that they have different color, you can see that it's only this section they have that kind of color, that different, and it's because they don't want to use blue for everything. But at least you can see that it's only, and it's not that really, it's somehow a shade of blue and white, all right? Varieties of, so this is also a blue color, right? This is, okay, that's the only blue there, but there are cool colors that does not really tell from, does not really tell much different from the primary colors that we are looking at. So you can see this is also blue. So if you notice very well, you see that the major color here is blue and white. So from these icons, so you see blue and white, blue and white, blue, blue. The background is white, all right? So the background here is white. This is blue. The background is white. So this is white, white. Where there is no white, you have blue there as the text. Look at the text here, blue. All right. So they have primary color and secondary color. I can't really see tertiary color here, but let me see if there is tertiary color. Okay, there is tertiary color, and that defines the reason why they use. You can see this color is also a shade of, what is this color? It's also blue, but another shade of blue. So you can see this blue. So primary color will reflect on um, will reflect majorly, all right, on the website. Then secondary color will reflect on text. Then tertiary color should reflect on links and buttons. So, and that is what they've done here. So let's go to where we saw different colors the other time. So you can see that this color is not out of the blue, it's not out of bound, all right? It's not out of bound. We have that color as part of the color set of this website. So we have that color. So that is that about using colors, all right? So that is that about using colors. So I think we are done with the features that makes a great website. So to recap that, number one, we have clean design in terms of quality images, then clearly defined section, enough space between element and sections, accessibility and easy navigation. All right. Hi guys, welcome back. So this will mark the end of the introductory class. I hope you've enjoyed the class, and I hope you can design your own website now on your mobile phone. However, if you want to go further and learn how to design a website like a pro, how to also make money from it, it is important that you join the premium class. So I will be teaching you how to design any type of project, how to make any type of project using WordPress, and also how to make money from it. Trust me, it's a different thing to know how to design, it's a different thing to know how to make money from it. So you don't want to miss the premium class. So join now in the description below or the URL scrolling on the screen right now. So to access the course at a promo price. See you on the inside. Thank you.